Hello, my name is Daniel Yuck. Thank you for watching today. I appreciate your time and support. In today's video, I want to talk about this 15-year-old tattoo that I have on my arm. I want to go ahead and kind of touch base on the reality and expectations of 15-year-old tattoos or older tattoos in general. Should you have any questions at all, I encourage you to drop a comment down below. I will do my absolute best to assist you in the best possible direction. Please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and ring my bell, as I will be bringing more videos like this for you all. I do also have social medias under the same name as my YouTube channel. I have Facebook, Instagram, X, and TikTok, all under Daniel Yuck. I would appreciate the support over there as well. With that being said, let's get right on into this. Let's talk about this 15-year-old tattoo that I have on my arm that I got when I was 18 years old. I want to start with this disclaimer right here. I want you to note that what I'm going to mention in this video is going to vary from person to person and from tattoo to tattoo. Everyone is different and every tattoo is applied differently, so therefore the results that we experience are going to vary. So it's important to note that I will strictly be speaking about my experiences with the tattoos that I have. Some of you may experience the same results that I did, others may not. I got this tattoo right here when I was 18 years old at a shop named Honest Charlie's, and it cost me around $200 or $300, and a tattoo artist named Kat did it. Now obviously when I first got this tattoo at 18, it did look a lot fresher, it did look a lot darker, a lot of the shadings were still there and not muddied up as we see them here. A lot of the lines still held their true integrity. However, you can see over the years there have been quite a few different changes that are happening within this tattoo. So if we take a closer look, we're going to notice a few things going on here. You're going to notice that a lot of the lines are not solid. They didn't hold their integrity over the years. The shading has faded. Some areas are a little bit hard to read. In some areas the shading even looks muddy, and then overall it has a sort of faded look to it. Now, a lot of these adversities that I'm experiencing with this tattoo is just simply kind of wear and tear. This is what happens to tattoos over time. However, again, every tattoo is going to look different. Every tattoo is applied differently, and the better the tattoo is applied, the better the results are going to be for a longer period of time. When we have tattoos with inconsistent lines and muddy-like shading, 9 times out of 10, it's going to be on the technical application process, which means it's going to fall on the tattoo artist end. However, that's not to say that the healing can't have an impact on the tattoo long term, because the healing process definitely does have an impact on tattoos long term. However, for my tattoo here specific, I'm convinced that this is more of a technical application issue and more so on the artist that applied the tattoo. And the reason why I say that is because of the consistent, inconsistent lines throughout this design. On top of that, the shading placement. I kind of feel like the tattoo artist could have took a little bit more time and thought this tattoo out before actually applying it, but that wasn't done, which had led me to these results. So for my tattoo specific, the technical application provided me with inconsistent lines. The shading placement provided me with a hard to read shade over the 15 years. And that's why I say these sort of healing results are more on the tattoo artist end than they are on the person that's wearing the tattoo. I say that because if these lines were applied correctly, lines especially would have stood the test of time. Even if they did fade, that's a natural occurrence. The lines still would have held their integrity. I would like for you to take a really good look at the lines that you see right here, and then take a look at this mock-up of what I would like for these lines to have looked like. You can see that these lines make the tattoo look a lot more fresher as it did on day one. However, I kind of feel like it is a little bit unrealistic to expect our tattoos to look like they did on day one 15 years later. We can also read this design a lot more easier, and it looks a lot more cleaner with variations of line weights, and on top of that with a nice, clean, consistent, solid saturated lines, which is a good technical application. It really does come down to how the tattoo is technically applied by the tattoo artist. When we have tattoos that are like line dominant, those tend to stand the test of time for many years. It really just depends. If an artist applies shading and they overworked it and it was muddy, then we're really not going to get a clean look that's going to stand the test of time. And this is what I wanted to talk about, understanding some unrealistic and realistic expectations for our tattoos and how to get to those expectations correctly. Now, in a perfect world, we would want our tattoos to look like the one on the left, holding up the test of time. Granted, the shading isn't the best, but we would still want the tattoos to look as clean and readable as long as we can get them to look, if not for the rest of our lives. But this right here is not necessarily a reality of tattoos. It's also very important to understand that our skin is not by any means perfect, so it's very important to factor in that variable to the healing equation. We also have to understand that tattoos are essentially wounds, and wounds are highly unpredictable when it comes to the healing process. So if someone has really sensitive skin, for example, and they got a tattoo done with, let's say, an 18 round shader, then chances of their skin maybe getting scarred or having some sort of textures when the tattoo is healed are through the roof, just because of the skin type. And again, it's going to vary from person to person. So with that being said, a tattoo can be applied technically correct. However, when it heals, the person with sensitive skin could definitely still experience some adversities throughout the healing process, whether they're losing their line integrity, the shading lightened up quite a bit. You can kind of get the idea behind that. I really do feel that having these expectations of our tattoos being perfect is more of a false expectation than more of a realistic expectation. The reality of tattoos is that they are wounds. The reality is that whenever any one of us gets a wound, our body heals it the way that it needs to keep us moving on in a healthy manner. So even though ink is deposited into the skin, it's still technically a wound, and the body is going to respond to it that way. What that means is once we deposit ink into the skin, we open the skin, we break damage the skin to put the ink in there, the body's going to do its thing and start layering new layers of skin over the original ink. And this is why tattoos over time tend to look faded, as the one that you're looking at right here. Real quick, a tattoo being faded versus a tattoo falling out are two completely different things. When a tattoo is faded, that's just a natural common occurrence that tattoos tend to have, where a tattoo falling out was falling on the technical aspect where the tattoo artist didn't apply the tattoo correctly. I just wanted to confirm they are two different things. So understanding that a tattoo is a wound, and understanding that throughout the years the skin is going to heal over the tattoo, which is going to give us a more faded look to our tattoo. This is just a common occurrence with tattoos. This is a reality of tattoos. When the skin begins to heal over in microscopic layers, each skin is gonna go ahead and take away a tone of the original ink that was deposited. So when the ink is super dark and saturated, every time a layer of skin begins to heal over, we're just gonna lighten that dark up a little bit more each and every time, hence a faded look to the tattoo. Another realistic expectation for tattoos is that they can definitely lose their integrity over the years. So even if a line is applied correctly throughout the healing process, let's say if the person oversaturated with ointment or undersaturated with ointment, that can also cause adversities within the tattoo's final read. I really feel that a good tattoo that holds up the test of time is a 50-50 effort. 50% of that effort is going to be on the artist and their technical application, making sure they do a good job at applying the tattoo. The other 50% will fall on the client, making sure that they do a good job throughout the healing process when their tattoo is healing and after it's healed. I do feel like it is a genuine team effort on the client and artist end to produce a good tattoo with realistic expectations that can stand the test of time. On the next image here, you're going to see that on the left we have an unrealistic expectation. On the right we have more of a realistic expectation of a tattoo after 15 years. On the left, I went ahead and I shaded one of the roses in, and I kind of wanted to use this as an example to express how unrealistic standards can be after a tattoo has healed over the course of 15 years. What this shows is after 15 years, the tattoo is not going to look as dark or saturated as it did on day one or even the first, second, or third year. I feel like if we wanted to keep that aspect where the tattoo keeps their integrity and looks saturated through the course of our life, then we would want to go ahead and get some touch-ups over the course of years as we see the tattoo start fading and or losing its integrity. If we get touch-ups, let's say every 5 to 10 years on our old tattoos, then we will preserve the integrity and get that saturation that we're looking for. But if we're not going to have any touch-ups, this is the reality of a tattoo. I feel like most of the variables that I've mentioned here in terms of realistic expectations for tattoos are what a lot of us would experience who do get tattoos. Again, it will vary from individual to individual. I want to hear your healing results. Share some of your stories with me on tattoos that are healing healing on your end or that have healed, and let me know how they healed over time in the comment section down below. That'll be it for this video right here. Should you have any questions at all, I encourage you to drop a comment down below and I will do my absolute best to assist you in the best possible direction. Please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and ring my bell, as I will be bringing more videos like this for you all. I do also have social medias under the same name as my YouTube channel. I have Facebook, Instagram, X, and TikTok, all under Daniel Yuck. I would appreciate the support over there as well. With that being said, I thank you for your time and I appreciate you watching. Have a great day.